everyone. So I thought I'd do a video for you today that's just about my frustration with foundation, which is a little bit rhymey, but okay, we're going with it. I don't know what else to call it. So a few years ago, I think it coincided with around the time when I got pregnant, my skin changed. I don't know if it was because of my age or because of the pregnancy. I don't know. So that would have been at 32. Yes. So I'm 34 now. And something happened. So before, I would say my cheeks were kind of normal dry. My T-zone was extremely oily, saturated a blotting sheet within, 2 to 4 hours after washing it. Very, very oily. When I got pregnant, they say that it's very common to get more oily, hence the glow, that or the sweat from being sick, whatever. But my skin got less oily. So my T-zone went from extremely oily to between normal and slightly oily. After the pregnancy, after everything I think, it took some time for everything to get back to normal, I think. Once I stopped nursing and all that, just kind of back to where I was before I got pregnant. I have gotten a little bit more oily in my T-zone, but my cheeks have gotten more dry. The places that I had kind of dermatitis type issues got worse, whatever. I kind of revamped my skincare routine about, I think in January to March, somewhere around there. And I did a video about that, I believe. And I have since revised it again, just trying to deal with that kind of extreme dryness that I was getting in certain spots. So I think kind of a symptom of this skin change is just my problems with foundation. So something that started happening then was that when I put foundation on, it would settle into my pores and I'd have little polka dots. It's like it kind of smeared off the top and I would just be left with little dots. And all these foundations that used to work for me stopped working. And I think there is maybe one foundation that I can actually apply with my fingers and it won't do that. And it's the Makeup Forever Face and Body. I have quite a collection, unfortunately, of foundations. The other problem I have with them is the color. I can never get anything that's really light enough. So things that this happens with, the CoverGirl 3-in-1, Revlon Color Stay, I tried the Urban Decay Naked Foundation and returned it because that happened. Dream Lumi Foundation from L'Oreal. I got a sample of the Bobbi Brown Skin Foundation. That happens. And that's actually what I'm wearing today. So I've tried primers. I have tried extra moisturizer in case it was a dryness type thing. Like pore minimizing primers. Moisturizing primers, nothing works. The only way I can get those foundations to look okay is if I use a sponge like the Real Techniques Miracle Complexion Sponge, which is similar to the Beauty Blender. If I get that wet, then apply the foundation, it won't have that problem. But if I try to use my fingers or brushes, almost always with my fingers, almost always with brushes. If I really, really take my time and use a certain technique with like a stippling brush, I can avoid it. But in general, the only way I can make them work is with a wet sponge. And I just don't like doing that because I don't like having to wash the sponge every day. So it's a little bit obnoxious. So if you want to see kind of up close in detail what happens, and maybe it's something you have encountered, I don't know. But if you have any possible solutions for it, I would love to hear it. So anyway, let's zoom in so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. So this is gonna be intense. So from a distance, it looks okay. But once you get up close, you can see like in here, it's like it's kind of collecting in the pores. And it happens on my nose and through here especially. It will happen on the side of my cheeks. I don't have much foundation over there. Other issues I have are kind of dryness around my nose. Things kind of glob up in there. That's kind of something that I've been dealing with for a while now, and it's rather frustrating that I can't use just a regular foundation. Something I have thought about trying is a more moisturizing foundation. The Dream Lumi is very dewy, but I don't know that it's necessarily moisturizing. But since I also have this acne prone area of my chin, I'm not super enthusiastic to try something that's too moisturizing, because there are areas on my face that don't need as much moisture as, say, my cheeks. So then I'm thinking, well, maybe I could put one foundation like from here out, and then another foundation on this part of my chin, and whatever. It seems quite ridiculous. But that's just kind of my current frustration with foundations. If it's something that you've dealt with, I'd really love to hear any tips or suggestions on how you were able to get past it other than using something like a damp sponge, or if that's just the way it is once your skin reaches a certain point. I don't know. I feel like this is something that I haven't really heard a lot of people talk about having problems with, and I'm always so envious when somebody can just slap on a bunch of foundation. Now, I do know that I'm probably a little bit picky about how visible the makeup is on my skin. I really, really don't like to see any sort of very noticeable makeup up close, because I know with my eyesight, at least, when I'm in speaking distance with someone and I can see their foundation, I know they can see mine too. If, you know, I'm right up in my makeup mirror and I can really see that visible something, yeah, I don't like that. So Paula's Choice Barely There Sheer Matte Tint is the one thing that I can just slap on, and I have a review and a demo of that as well. I'm going to order the Missha, I think it's Signature, what's it called? It's not the Perfect Cover, something with cover. Signature Complete, maybe? That's the one I'm going to purchase in the shade number 13, because I have seen swatches that indicate it's lighter than NC15 in MAC, so I'm hoping it's a little bit closer to NC10, which is really what my face is more like. I would just go with the Paula's Choice Tinted Moisturizer again, but it's a little dark, and when I do use that, I end up having to put something on my neck to kind of balance things out a little bit, because it tends to look a little warm on my face, and then my neck is a lot lighter, and it's just not good. So I've been wearing a little bit thicker of a layer, I guess, to get a little bit more coverage out of it, because it is very sheer with a very thin layer. I don't know. I guess lately I feel like the difference is quite noticeable, so I'm just looking for another option. So that's another, I mean, that's like an ongoing foundation frustration, is that nothing comes in a light enough shade. And this is something that's experienced on any extreme of the spectrum. If you're very deep or if you're very light, you're just not going to have a lot of options. But I wish there were at least a couple options. But then if I do find something that's light enough, I'm not going to be able to apply it in an easy way. So whatever. Anyway, this video is more of a, here, I have this issue. Maybe you're not alone if you also have this issue. If anybody's dealt with it successfully, you know, they can pass along some information. I would love to hear it. So I think that's it, really. Thank you so much for watching and commenting and rating. I really do appreciate that. And if you want to see more videos from me and you are not subscribed, then go ahead and do that. I would definitely appreciate it. I'm really trying to get to 200 subscribers by the end of the year. I've mentioned this on Twitter a few times. I thought it was going to be kind of a tricky thing, but all of a sudden I've gotten a fair amount of subscribers lately. So last time I checked, I was at 199. So I think in a month I should be able to do it. So yeah, thanks again for watching. I hope you're having a wonderful day, and I'll see you soon.